This is Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Subscribe for new content notifications. Now, here's Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at BackupBradleyAbove and everything that we're talking about here today. I wanted to do a video on this for a while, and there was an article that just came out yesterday by the Daily Hodl on quantum cryptography. We've heard so much about quantum this, quantum that, and I really just kind of wanted to familiarize myself and all of us with this terminology. What does it mean? Where is it going? And where is it now? Where is the development of this tech currently? And how does it affect cryptography and digital asset space? All right, so let's dive into this, and we're going to get some remarks from David Schwartz as well before this is over. So, guys, make sure you hit the like and subscribe. This episode is brought to you by Crypto Life, the best merch and the best Crypto Life merch gear, merchandise on the planet. If you want to show somebody that you're into crypto, don't show them what you hold. Show them your Crypto Life gear. It is absolutely the hottest gear on the planet. Make sure you check out the link in the description box below. All right, let's get into this thing. So we're going to get to that article in a second. But first of all, let's understand a few terminologies here so we can kind of get our footing on this. So quantum finance is an interdisciplinary research field applying theories and methods developed by quantum physics and economists in order to solve problems in finance. So it is a branch of econophysics. So let's keep this going. Quantum money is a proposed design of banknotes, making them impossible to forge by using quantum physics. The idea influenced the development of the quantum key distribution protocols used in quantum cryptography. Now I start lighting up and I start thinking, wow, quantum for cryptography, you know. Because I hear the term quantum financial system used a lot. And that's one of the things that has really piqued my interest. So let's keep going with the terminology. So what is quantum cryptography? Is quantum cryptography something that is currently used today to solve problems in the cryptography space? Let's take a look here. Quantum cryptography is the science of exploiting quantum mechanical properties to perform cryptographic tasks. The best known example of quantum cryptography is the quantum key distribution, which offers an information theoretically secure solution to the key exchange problem. The advantage of quantum cryptography lies in the fact that it allows the completion of various cryptographic tasks that are proven and conjectured to be impossible using only classical non-quantum communication. For example, it is impossible to copy data encoded in a quantum state. If one attempts to read the encoded data, the quantum state will be changed. No cloning theorem. This could be used to detect eavesdropping and quantum key distribution. So then I moved to this kind of article. Now, this is more the flavor of how I've, up until this point, how I've been hearing about or reading about when I see the quantum financial system. So let me just go through this because it's interesting where we're going to go from this point. So old fiat currency is a false money supported by the central banking systems of debt slavery. I get that. QFS, the quantum financial system, has no comparison to anything that has ever been presented to the world before. It is like an anti-gravity machine compared to a car. There is no real basis to understand this technology. Now, if we discuss about the quantum financial system and its interrelation with blockchain and the future banking, then we came to know the new QFS is dealing in blockchain. Interesting. Shared ledgers and distributed ledger technologies, cryptocurrencies, virtual currencies, and digital currencies. The QFS is stored and operate on the satellite-based servers based on quantum computing. The reason is quantum computing is more secure and advanced. Because of its pattern of processing, the quantum computing uses two or more quantum states together to create another state by firing electrons through semiconductors. Use configurable pulse of light, which results fastest state of speed. That's why quantum computers store far more information, requiring less energy, and deliver more speed than current state computers. Now listen to this part. Quantum financial system is the future of banks because it provides methods to perform everyday tasks better than traditional computers. This technology will replace blockchain and cryptography within a period of 10 years. Now, you see this kind of thing, and it's coming from Jasara.news. You have to start asking yourself, how much of this is hype? How much of this is real? Right? How much of this is actually, already validated information? One, we do know for a fact that they have nodes on satellites, and that is a part of the system that's being used out in the world today to not only have validator nodes and things of that nature for digital assets in general, at universities and institutions that run it around the world, and they can all participate in the network. But the reality is that obviously they can do this with satellites, and they do. And that part to me is not hard to believe. The part that's hard to believe is how does it play into blockchain and cryptocurrencies in general when they're talking about this? Because currently, right now, we know that they're not solving problems in the blockchain distributed ledger world with quantum mechanics or mathematics, right? So, or quantum computing, I should say. So, but let's keep going here. Now, this article came out yesterday from the Daily Hodl. Quantum cryptography breakthrough revealed as team of researchers create ultra secure network. Now, ultimately, the backdrop of this is I'm like, okay, I get it. There's new innovation happening all the time, and you have to be thinking 5-10 steps ahead of where we're going to be going in order to understand, if you're focused on just now and today, you're going to miss what's happening tomorrow, right? You have to be very forward thinking. So I'm trying to do this as an exercise for myself as well as you guys, and an education too. I want to get myself familiar with the understanding of what is it, what's the terminology, and where is the development of all of this compared to today, and looking ahead and them saying we'll be there, and the stuff that we're using today will be really obsolete in its use in 10 years, right? It doesn't mean that we still won't have cryptocurrencies and virtual currencies. It just, I think the suggestion is that everything will need to be at the standard of quantum computing within the next 10 years. So, okay, so let's look at this quick article, very quick article here. A team of researchers from various educational institutions has made a breakthrough in the field of quantum cryptography after creating an ultra-secure network. In a research paper published Science Advances, the team led at the University of Bristol has established quantum network protocol that allows multiple parties to directly communicate without actively switching or trusting nodes. Prior to the team's breakthrough, quantum communication networks were mostly limited to 2 users. Scaling used to be a tough nut to crack as it presented a number of problems. In most practical networks, it is rare to be able to trust every connected node. Furthermore, such networks tend to use multiple copies of both the sender and receiver hardware at each node, thereby increasing the cost prohibitively. The second category is actively switched or access networks, where only certain pairs of users are allowed to exchange a key at a time. Joshi's team has circumvented the issue of trust and node switching by creating a network architecture that enables the secure transmission of entangled photons to all the connected nodes. And then here it says here we present a citywide quantum communication network with 8 users that forms a fully connected graph network where each user simultaneously exchanges a secure key with the other user while requiring only 8 wavelength channel pairs. minimal user hardware, 2 detectors and polarization analysis model called a PAM, and no trusted nodes. Just one source of polarization, entangled photon pairs, is shared passively between all users and requires neither trust in the service provider nor adaptations to add or remove users. The researchers say the novel solution is highly scalable while keeping the infrastructure and hardware required to build the ultra-secure quantum communication network at a minimum. Now, so I see that, and then I get reminded of this, and I covered this actually not long ago. The Department of Energy is becoming the centrifuge of America's quantum information science effort as the White House and Congress seek to secure funding and more advancements. Let's just take a look at this. This is basically what it's talking about. It's talking about the National Quantum Initiative Act from December 2018, which was put through and it passed with unanimous vote by the United States Senate and was signed by the president. And then you go a little further and you see down in here that basically funding and planning to build out quantum computing and advance the technology. Trump signs into legislation to boost quantum computing research with $1.2 billion put behind it. Here is the article that talks about that. And we go into this, and it says National Quantum Initiative Act authorizes $1.2 billion over 5 years or federal activities aimed at boosting investment in quantum information science, or QIS, and supporting quantum smart workforce. So then I start thinking to myself, well, how does this affect where we're at today? Is the XRP ledger susceptible to quantum computing attacks? Is the XRP ledger have the ability to add in for the growth of the technology to adapt and to be able to add the ability of quantum computing into itself? I mean, these are all valid questions as investors here. So coming to this situation, quantum computing, this article, and I covered this back in July, I believe it was, but I just want to, the Daily Hodl article is like, this quantum stuff's not going away. So as an investor who plans to be in this space a long time, I want to understand what's happening here. So quantum computers will be a threat to Bitcoin and XRP. Ripple's CTO David Schwartz believes that quantum computers will be a threat to the security of Bitcoin, XRP, and other cryptocurrencies. However, Schwartz predicts that quantum computers will start to become a problem within the next 10 years. Then I start thinking, well, damn, isn't that what they just said down here in this one? This technology will replace blockchain and cryptography within a period of the next 10 years. Then I started thinking, wow, this just saw news, which I felt like was like a hype website based around a lot of the QAnon stuff, which I mean, everybody's got a right to believe what they want to believe. But there's a lot of hype in that stuff, and there's some legitimate stuff, just like anything. You got to sort through it to understand it, right? So I'm not trying to discredit it. And in fact, in this situation, I actually find somebody that I trust their words very much. And I see that he is actually talking about how there's the same timeline for that threat of quantum computers as well, bringing validity to that article. Okay, so then I go one step further and I start to breathe a real sigh of relief, because the question here for me ultimately at this day is, how does this affect XRP and the ledger and cryptography as a whole? Is it a threat to the ledger? Is it a threat to XRP and the development? So here's where we go. So this is a response from Twitter from David Schwartz and Meg Kay. While we are about 2 years or a bit more away from practical quantum computing that can break RSA keys, do you think it's a threat for cryptocurrency, specifically XRP on Ripple? If not, why? David Schwartz answers, this is back in 2018, it's definitely a threat. Fortunately, it's not that difficult to add new crypto algorithms to the XRP ledger, and you can keep your existing receiving addresses as well. We added ED25519 this way. in 2015. Then he goes on to say, first of all, let me just say, whew, nice to know. Thank you, David. Because you can add algorithms to the XRP ledger. So in his mind, I'm already seeing that whatever proves to be a threat or promise of new technology that can update everything and help move it to a new settlement time and a new expediency and all of this business, you know, he's basically saying we could add that algorithm to the XRP ledger. And he goes on to say the main reason we haven't added quantum resistant algorithms yet is that all the existing ones I know of have limitations that make them suboptimal for our use case. And anything we add, we have to keep more or less forever, since removing it makes some accounts inaccessible. So basically, again, reinforcing the notion here that, listen, quantum computing is a threat, and he sees it, David Schwartz sees it as a threat, that it could become a problem within the next 10 years. The interesting thing here is that he also states that they can add algorithms to the XRP ledger. So that could be to fight off any quantum computing that would be trying to damage the system, as well as I would believe that they could add algorithms that could enhance the ledger and its use to quantum computing. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. I hope in some way we've been able to kind of clear the path, clear the water of what's going on here. This is something that is on its way to being used, and cryptography is going to be affected over the coming years with quantum computing. And it's interesting to me as an investor and as an enthusiast in this space, as someone who just loves this new tech and following everything. So I just wanted to do a video real quick on that, and I hope you guys are inspired to maybe dig a little more. And if you guys find anything, share it with me, and we'll make sure we cover that as well. Until then, hit the like and subscribe, leave a comment below. I'll catch all of you on the next one.